At 7:12 in the morning, every phone in Elmbridge Downs pinged with a fraud alert titled, "Errant. Your HOA just bought a lunar silver mammoth LX." The push notification included a high-resolution photo of our president, Gloria Penn, grinning at a dealership. One stiletto planted on the bumper like she had just conquered Rome. People spilled into the cul-de-sac in pajamas, staring at their screens as if the bank had just announced a meteor was coming. Mrs. Chen from Unit 42 dropped her coffee mug on her driveway. The Harrises stood on their porch in matching robes, refreshing their banking app like it might change the story. Someone started a group text within seconds. The messages came in faster than I could read them. What is this? Did anyone authorize this? Is this real? Check your statements. I'm Caleb Norwood, quiet homeowner, freelance sound engineer, specialized in making other people's chaos sound intentional. I spend my days tweaking frequencies and eliminating background hum for podcasters and small film productions. I like coffee you can stand a spoon in and neighbors you cannot hear. My townhome sits at the edge of Elmbridge Downs, a community with hedges shaved more precisely than most mustaches. The HOA, run by Gloria Penn, a woman who wields bylaws like throwing stars, has rules about mailbox posture and seasonal wreath modesty. She once fines someone for parking their own car in their own driveway at a 15 angle instead of straight. I keep my head down, pay dues, and fix squeaks. I avoid eye contact at board meetings and pay my $120 monthly dues without complaint until my phone told me I apparently owned 1/126th of a brand new SUV that costs more than my annual income. Gloria had been hinting for weeks about a mobility solution for board operations. She brought it up at every meeting, dropping phrases like operational efficiency and geographic coverage like she was running a military campaign. Then came the stealth fees, a $19 community synergy charge, a $27 vehicular aesthetic study, and a $14.50 line item labeled simply Gloria. Nobody questioned them at first. They appeared on our monthly statements in small print, buried between landscaping and pool maintenance. She started arriving to inspections in borrowed dealer loaners, claiming the board needed transport for enforcement. First, it was a sedan, then an SUV, then a truck with dealer plates that she parked across 2 spots at the clubhouse. Meanwhile, violation letters multiplied like rabbits. Non-compliant hose drape because my garden hose touched the ground instead of being coiled on an approved rack. Aggressive bird feeder because apparently cardinals are too loud at 6 o'clock in the morning. Wind chime tone deviant because my chimes were in C major and the approved key was D major. I am not making this up. I caught her sneaking up my stoop one Tuesday morning with a tape measure. She was measuring my doormat, muttering numbers into her phone. She said with a sniff that the font was too jaunty. I asked what that even meant. She told me that whimsical typography undermines community cohesion, and that my welcome mat projected an attitude of casual disregard for standards. It said, "Welcome in hell." When I asked about the budget and where all these new fees were going, she told me in her iciest voice that transparency is a privilege that must be earned through compliance. Her smile could have frozen nitrogen. The board meetings turned into theater. Gloria would make motions. Her 3 board members, all of whom she had personally selected, would second them immediately. motions passed by a chorus of acquaintances who nodded like dashboards. Any homeowner who asked questions got added to what Gloria called her enhanced monitoring list. I watched her write names in a little leather notebook. She did it slowly, maintaining eye contact like a teacher marking detention. Then the bank alert detonated the neighborhood group chat. A second ping followed within minutes. Card present purchase $7,849,216. Memo board vehicle plus underbody LED for visibility. The group chat exploded. My phone vibrated so hard it walked across my desk. Turns out our HOA debit card had a large purchase notice feature that auto-emailed every homeowner on file whenever a transaction exceeded $5,000. Gloria apparently did not know this. Also, turns out Gloria had listed the HOA as a small municipal entity to duck sales tax, claiming we were a government subdivision. The bank's fraud department flagged the discrepancy between municipal versus condo association and called the county assessor's office to verify. While Gloria was live streaming herself doing a fleet reveal in the clubhouse lot, complete with a red ribbon and a speech about mobilizing compliance and ushering in a new era of enforcement capability. A county compliance officer arrived with eyebrows already at felony level. His name was Martinez, and he looked like he had seen everything twice. He stood at the edge of the parking lot, arms crossed, watching Gloria pose next to the SUV like it was a prize on a game show. She was mid-sentence, talking about how the vehicle's all-wheel drive would allow for better snow patrol when she noticed him. Her voice faltered. The live stream kept rolling. A dealership clerk pulled by the bank into a conference call explained that the title read, Elmbridge Downs, HOA, Authorized Signatory, GPEN, Personal Use, Lease, Dendum. The words personal use did not age well in sunlight. Gloria's smile froze on the live stream like a buffering video. She stammered something about administrative error and misunderstanding, insisting that personal use meant for the person serving the community. Officer Martinez was already taking notes with the energy of someone who had waited years for this exact moment. He asked her to step away from the vehicle. She asked why with a shaky laugh. He suggested she might want to call a lawyer instead of streaming. I'm a document hoarder by profession. You cannot work in sound engineering without keeping records of every session, every edit, every revision. The skill transfers. I rolled in with a binder 3 in thick budgets going back 2 years. Screenshots of the group chat meltdown with times printed bank statements with every mystery fee highlighted in yellow, and a red string timeline connecting the study to the synergy to the lease. I had photos of Gloria arriving in different dealer loaners, each one more expensive than the last. I had copies of my own violation notices, including the one about my chimes being in the wrong key, which I had fact-checked with a tuner app. A neighbor who works at the bank, Stephen from Unit 73, printed the approval trail. Gloria had overridden the spending cap by flipping our charter code from residential homeowners association to infrastructure emergency entity. The code change allowed her to bypass the $5,000 approval requirement. Stephen showed us the digital signature log. Gloria had signed the purchase order at 9:47 on a Tuesday morning. At 9:51, she had reclassified the HOA. At 9:54, she had approved the purchase. At 9:58, She was at the dealership. The timestamps told a story she could not talk her way out of. The county officer radioed the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Unit. 2 detectives materialized, like they had been waiting in the shrubbery for years. One was tall and quiet. The other had the energy of someone who enjoyed paperwork. They asked to see the board. The board's yes men. 3 middle-aged guys who Gloria had appointed because they never disagreed with her, tried to form a phalanx around her. One of them, Dennis, said that this was clearly a misunderstanding and that Gloria had always acted in the community's best interest. The detectives asked them calmly to produce minutes authorizing the purchase. They produced a napkin from Dennis's pocket with approved SUV, ? And 3 initials. GP, GP, GP. Gloria had signed it 3 times in different colored pens to make it look like 3 different people. The detectives held the napkin up to the light like it was a forgery in a heist movie. The county froze the HOA account pending a full audit and investigation. Gloria's face went through the 5 stages of oh no in real time. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and a final landing on panic. Her hands shook as she tried to pull up something, anything on her phone that would save her. She kept saying, "This is a misunderstanding," over and over like a skipping record. Emergency meeting, clubhouse, 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. Every seat was filled. People stood along the walls. Someone brought popcorn. The folding chairs were still warm from gossip and speculation. The energy in the room felt like the moments before a verdict. I set up my laptop and projector, the same equipment I use for client presentations. Gloria sat in the front row, flanked by a lawyer who looked like he had been hired that afternoon. Her usual confidence had evaporated. She kept adjusting her blazer and checking her phone. I cued a slideshow. Slide 1. The bank's auto email with a car photo and the subject line, "Your HOA just bought a car." People leaned forward. Some pulled out their phones to compare it to their own notifications. Slide 2. The lease addendum specifying vehicle garaged at 14 Penway her house. Someone in the 3rd row said, "Oh my God," out loud. Slide 3. Gas receipts, premium only dated over the last 3 weeks. Line memo, Enforcement Patrol Outlet Mall. Enforcement Patrol to Target. Enforcement Patrol to a nail salon 30 miles away. The room inhaled as one. Someone in the back whispered a curse that got swallowed by the collective gasp. Mrs. Chen started crying, not from sadness, but from rage. Slide 4. A map showing every location Gloria had driven the HOA vehicle track through the dealership's complimentary GPS service. The mall, her mother's house, a casino 2 hours south, a wine tasting event. The dots on the map painted a picture of someone who had confused community funds with a personal expense account. Slide 5. The invoice from the dealership showing she had added on every possible upgrade. Heated and cooled seats, a premium sound system, which, as a sound engineer, I could tell cost more than it was worth. A panoramic sunroof. Ambient interior lighting in a custom color she had named Gloria Gold, the AG rep. A woman in a gray suit who introduced herself as Deputy Attorney General Reeves served Gloria with a lovely stack of papers. Civil theft, conversion, wire fraud review, and a temporary restraining order keeping her 50 feet from any HOA funds, physical or digital. The dealership's regional manager, who had been subpoenaed to attend, agreed. The bank rep set up a card reader on the podium and refunded every homeowner the synergy and aesthetics fees on the spot, along with 3 months of inflated dues. People tapped their cards like they were voting Gloria off the island. Each beep felt like a small victory. Gloria tried to speak, her voice cracking as she said this was all a misunderstanding. The AG rep cut her off with a raised hand and a look that could freeze fire. The bylaws required a vote for her resignation. We held it anyway for sport. 124 voted yes. 2 abstained. 0 voted no. She was banned from any board service statewide for 5 years and ordered to reimburse legal fees, the bank penalties, and the cost of hauling her fleet back to the dealership. The judge added a final touch: mandatory financial governance training and 200 hours of community service. Cleaning the very retention pond she once called our community's negative space. The fine totaled $42,000, including restitution and penalties. When the judge read the sentence, Gloria went pale, gripping the table in front of her. Her mouth opened and closed twice before she managed to whisper that this was impossible, that she had a mortgage, that this would ruin her. The judge looked at her without sympathy and said she should have thought of that before buying a luxury vehicle with other people's.